Hey guys, welcome back to the land of books and movies. Jack Ketchum is quickly becoming a favorite psychological thriller writer of mine, right next to Thomas Harris. This is the guy who took the true and terrible story of Sylvia Likens and made it even darker with The Girl Next Door. And now, here we are with another doozy of his. It's The Woman, the terrifying story of a lone female savage taken captive as a pet project and literally educating a savage by a very ornately wrapped bag of shit and his other captives. Oh, I mean family. The book and the movie are about 99% verbatim, from the sequence of events to the dialogue. Nothing is watered down. This book and this movie did not play around. The woman is entirely feral, with keen animalistic senses that the book goes into detail about, and the talent illustrates with body language and facial expressions. Also, as a side note, this is the same talent who later on plays Jadis, the heapster queen in the later seasons of The Walking Dead. And in here, she makes the same sounds as the zombies when expressing rage. Chris is one of the worst movie villains I've ever seen. He is a woman-hating, malignant narcissist. He's one of those people we all have in our lives to an extreme degree. You know the kind. A know-it-all douchebag who always approaches you with an I'm always right opinion enema with your name on it. And is full of you should, you should, you should. And in the end, he gets absolutely everything he deserves. His wife, Belle, is a downtrodden, battered wife whose spine comes in a little, too little too late for her to survive this story. Peggy is a downtrodden incest victim who is just hanging in there until there's nothing left to hang in there for. Ryan is also a sadistic and misogynistic, well-decorated bag of shit, just a smaller one, and he gets exactly what he deserves in the end. Darlene, also known as Darlin, is just the innocent child who doesn't yet understand that adults can be really wrong. Miss Raton is the well-meaning teacher who cares to a fault, and her involvement in this story leads to the one thing that is quite a surprise in both the book and the movie, although better explained in the book. Agnes, who I suppose is the firstborn of Chris and Belle, and apparently did something to prompt Chris to apparently gouge out her eyes and raise her as a dog. That's all we are given to understand about Agnes. The history of it is left to our imaginations. Something I also don't understand about the movie is the choice of music in some scenes, particularly the scene where Chris first sees the woman. He is out hunting and he spies on her washing up in the river, and it's like he's eyeballing her to what sounds like the type of horny teenager music you might hear in something like Fast Times at Ridgemont High or American Pie. And now let's talk about the end, the best part, the 1%. With some let's kick some ass guitar music soundtracking this, Peggy has freed the woman just as Agnes has been brought to our attention, and Miss Raton is no more. And she slowly and methodically dispenses justice. Belle gets in the way and literally loses face. Brian is hacked in half crosswise with a tractor blade. And then the best frontier justice is saved for Chris. She splits him lengthwise and samples his guts Goldilocks style. She pulls out some small intestine, takes a bite, and decides, ew, really, really full of shit. Digs in some more, pulls out his liver and takes a bite. Drinks too much, and then reaches in, digs around a bit, and pulls out his heart, takes a bite, and is very, very satisfied. She eats more of it, tosses the rest of it to Agnes just as she brings her to heel, and just as Darlene and Peggy meet her outside, And then the book and the movie meet at the end as the woman offers Darlene and Peggy this gesture of sisterhood with her blood-soaked hand outstretched. They each sample some of the blood off her fingertips, and it's silently understood that they're a tribe now. And they walk away to the next chapter of their lives, which I will explore later on when I check out the sequel named Darling. And that is all for the woman. Thank you for joining me this week. If you enjoyed this video and what I do in general, please help me keep on keeping on with the usual points and clicks, and please consider subscribing if you don't already. Check out my affiliates in the description. They are worth every penny. And I'll see you next book and movie.